All right. We're live on YouTube now too. So weird. All right, so US 30. We are at more of like a support area, so I went for a quicker take profit. I think we have a bigger potential to the upside today. I'm actually going to go for 100 pips to the upside. So we'll see if we can get a quick scalp out of here. I'm just following my trading plan. This is the area that it told me to take sells at, so we will see if we can catch about like 30 pips on it. We should go for 30. So we'll see if we can catch that, get out. It does look like it has like a pretty good amount of room to the downside to slide though, if we do like go past this area. But ideally I'd like to see this make a liquidity grab down, break below this wick on the 1 hour, so it induces a lot of sellers, and then spikes back up within like the next 2 to 3 1 hour candles, and comes back to this top area here. We'll see what happens though. I was hoping to get like just a decent push down, but we might just reject this area right now, which would be unfortunate. If anyone wants me to go over other pairs as well, I can. While we sit here and wait, I'm just going for a quick scalp on US 30. A little bit over a 1-to-1 risk to reward. I hope no one traded yesterday because it was a slow day. It's funny, now that I trade like full time, I hate holidays. It just gives me nothing to do. Yeah, we did not get that much movement at all yesterday. what's up, bro? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but this is a challenge. So this is a $400,000 challenge. I paid $1,800 for it. Um, it's through the Funded Trader. They're a pretty good, reputable prop firm. Yeah. And then I got a live My Forex Funds connected to this on the back end. I have a My Forex Funds 200K challenge connected on the back end. Um, and then I don't do account management, but one of my good buddies just gave me 600K. That's like in big drawdown on my Forex funds, so I'm managing that, but it's live, so I'm trying to get back to break even. But I don't manage prop firms. Besides that, I only doing that just because um, it's live. And he's my buddy. God, I hate when we get entered right around this time because the market's still pretty slow. It's just like a freaking slow, painful death right here. I'm like, either hit my stop loss or start going down. And for those of you that are new that are joining, um, I take 4 trades a day. That's it. I risk 1% a trade. I go for either 1-to-1 or sometimes if I see a better setup. This one's actually 1-to-4 right here. So like I could lose this right now and nothing would be happening because if I hit this one on the top, I'm up 3-to-1. So we just hit stop loss on this. Hopefully that didn't just wick us out here though. The thing that sucks is I have these marked up on TradingView and it didn't hit. My boy Cal's, I love that. Are you doing a new challenge? No. Oh, you just trading. Um, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if this is a double bottom. There's no confirmation yet that this is a double bottom. I'd have to see some kind of rejection. It just made a small little wick right here. I can't tell you how many times I've seen US 30 do this and then keep tanking and they just swoop up everybody's money. Yeah, cause I'll look at getting a new challenge here soon. But going back to how I trade, 4 trades a day, 1% on each trade. So worst case scenario, you lose 4%. Hasn't happened in a long time. If I get entered in this and I'm up like 2-to-1 risk reward, I'm putting stop loss at break even. Sometimes if I'm at 1-to-1, I'm putting stop loss at break even. I've been a lot harder on myself right now on actually holding till the final TP. For those of you that were watching last week, can't even tell you how much profit I left off the table just from closing out early. So I've been trying to get better on that. Um, yeah, Kels, I feel you with deadlines. It's just, I almost just don't even think about it. Um, and like, I could care less. Like, wherever I'm at in the challenge, when it ends, that's where I'm at. I've had like, I think two free retries on one of my Forest funds before I passed. So, um, like, I think you don't need to rush yourself, and if you don't end up passing, it doesn't matter because you can just get a free retry as long as you're in profit. Um, and like, I usually end them in profit, but passing them is another story. I think a lot of even really good experienced traders won't make 10% a month. So that being said, like you need to have a good month in order to like hit those numbers. So I think sometimes taking a couple months to pass a prop firm, there's nothing wrong with that. If you had to get a couple free retries. Okay, so sturdy looks like it's keep coming up. So I'm glad I took stop loss right here. So we've been way higher in drawdown right now. Nasdaq, hopefully we get some buys. I'm really pissed that it was a holiday yesterday because Mondays have been my best day so far. Um, Basically, on Mondays I go for 100 pips in one direction, and it usually always hits in one way. So it's like a 4-to-1 risk reward. Um, so I was kind of pissed off that yesterday was a holiday. But we'll see if that momentum maybe carries over into today instead. I already checked. There's no red folder news today either, so I don't know. It could be good, it could be bad. Sometimes I like trading with the volatility, to be honest. Just gets you in and out quicker. But for those of you that are new on here too, you'll find that I'm fairly patient. I mean, I'm only sitting here, and these are the only setups I'm taking for the day. So I was talking about this in previous calls, but like once you get a set strategy that's very defined, um, trading should get boring. Like I'm kind of just sitting here waiting at this point. I really don't even need to be by the computer, but I like to kind of actively manage the trades. Um, that way, like if I start going into profit on US 30 and I'm up, 2-to-1 risk reward, I can start looking to put stop loss at break even and things like that. Um, or if I just see something that I really don't like, I might just close out early, which I've done before. Sometimes it bites you in the butt, but other times I think it is good to play conservative. Um, but um, All right, what up for everyone that's joining right now? We're just waiting for a couple entries here. We hit stop loss on their sells on US 30. Ended up kind of making a double bottom, at least for right now. Um, we'll see how it ends up reacting to it. I'll see if it keeps pushing back up here. Um, Sometimes I do look to take re-entries. I like to get it higher though first, so we get more momentum coming down before I would take a sell. Um, so we'll see how that plays out here. Still have an hour till market open as well, which we might not get more volatility until then. Hopefully we can get something here then. Nasdaq's fairly close to our entry. It's gonna be an interesting area right here. We took the cells like right around this area. Make this a different color. We took the cells right here. Just hit our stop loss. I'm curious to see if this will keep going down. I usually don't like taking re-entries unless this completely pushes away and comes back down, because this could be just another small bounce right now. Alright, what's up everyone that just got on? We're just chilling here right now, waiting for some entries. We unfortunately hit stop loss on US 30. We took sells down here, kind of just came up and hit stop loss right away. Kind of in a weird area, because I do think it could still break this, but it's like somewhat rejecting it. It's like a very, I'd say, weak rejection right now. Especially, I think I want to see where this 15-minute candle ended up closing, which is in 2 minutes. But I do hope this double bottoms at some point, because if we get momentum coming up here, I'm looking for buys. I'm going to be going for 100 pips on this trade to the top, which would be a really good win. That'd be a 4-to-1 risk reward. So if you're risking 1% a trade, you'd get 4% on that trade, which on my 400K challenge would be 16K. And then with NASDAQ, I'm not going for as many pips on the way up, about 36. Then kind of same concept on the way down. With NASDAQ, I'm actually targeting a little bit more, only because on the 1 hour time frame here, we already did break this structure down here. So we'd actually be taking sells at, these newer lows. And then I'm just targeting down here, which if you look at the higher time frame, just kind of like a bigger 4 hour support. So we'll see which way the market wants to react. There's no news today, so like I was saying earlier, that could be good or that could be bad. Sometimes with news, if it's positive or something, we'll just go in one direction for the day because of it. We'll see if we can get any kind of movement in one direction. I'm going to check Forex Factory one more time. Yeah, there's just there's an orange folder news event, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. right. What's up, everyone? That's just joining. Um, Kind of waiting on a little bit more volatility here now. We took an entry on US 30, but ended up hitting stop loss. I'm just following my trading plan to a T. That's where he told me to take sells. So we hit small stop loss on there. So we're down 1% right now. Um, but it looks like Nasdaq's picking up some volume here. I'm looking for buys. Um, if you break above these highs here, I'm just going to target these highs. And then if we do break down below, I'm looking for sells down here. I'm hoping we can catch a runner on one of these. Hopefully US 30 can start coming back up here. Now, ideally, if one of these ran, I'd like to see it go all the way to here. That's too many pips. It's like 160. Conservatively, that's where I'd target. We'll see what happens though. Like I was mentioning earlier, on Mondays my strategy works the best. I've just found the market tends to run in one direction for most of the day. You can usually catch like 100 pips, which is like a 4% win. So I was a little aggravated yesterday. It was a holiday, but we'll see if we can catch some momentum today since yesterday was a holiday. Let's see if we'll just go in one direction here. Alright, and if anyone wants me to go over other pairs, I can. So, kind of just unfortunate with where we got the entry. But I follow like a very, very strict strategy. So, this is where I was looking to take my entries at for today. And I didn't want to take any re-entries or anything. So, I'm not mad about it. But hopefully we can get a nice push up here within, once the market opens here. Yeah, it's down 50 pips right now. One, it's like a breakout strategy based on London session levels. It's something it's just for our lifetime members right now, but I'm just kind of trading it live in front of you guys. And you're more than welcome to take the positions that I take if you want to. But we're not necessarily going over the full strategy on the live Zoom just because we put a lot of time and money into it. Yeah, damn. This thing's going crazy right now. Well, there There's my 100 pips right there. Let me see something. I think this has got a shot to come up though here. I might expand this just a few pips here just because we got some increased volatility right now. We'll mark it open. And hopefully we don't have both of these. Jeez. This 30 is just rubbing it in our face right now. Alright, shit. And stop loss on there, unfortunately. I have a feeling it's going to drop too. Usually I like to only right around market open, so like between like 8:30 to 8:35, just when market's just opening. I'll sometimes expand it just a little bit because we'll get some increased volatility like this, but I don't at the same time there's no point of risking it. It did hit a little bit over 25 pips on that, unfortunately. I usually like to risk 1% a trade. This was just a little bit higher. So let's see. Risk to reward is generally 1 to 2. Sometimes, so it depends on the setup. So, like on here with US30 buys, I'm going for 1 to 4 risk to reward. So that'd make up for both these losses, and I'd still be up 2%. This one on Nasdaq sells, I was going for 1 to 2 on the way down. On the way up, I was going for 1.5 to 1. So it depends on market structure. Sometimes it's only a 1 to 1 if I feel like I'm selling into an area that's maybe like support. So sometimes I'm just a little bit more conservative with it. But yeah, not a great way to start out the week. Usually, last week we actually didn't have a losing week or a losing day yet. So let's see if we can keep it consistent. I think we're up over 5.5% from last week, which is fun. That's how I passed that one challenge in front of everyone. So. Considering taking a re-entry on Nasdaq. because it just hit our stop loss so quickly. And US 30 is tanking right now. Alright, so just re-entered. Try to let this candle fall. Let's see, that should just be one more little push up there, and now hopefully we'll fall. just been kind of hovering my stop loss right here. Um, Alright, I don't know what's going on right now. It's Alright, hold up. I think my server's lag. I'm gonna close this out. That's great. Not what you want to see happen when you're in a live trade. Alright, yeah, that is super weird. Hold on, I'm gonna reshare my screen here for some reason. Okay, for some reason this thing glitched out. Luckily, it hit my stop loss. We're down really bad today, though. We're down close to, what is that? 15 divided by 15 divided by 4. Down like 3.7% so far. So I'm gonna risk just this one last trade here on NASDAQ. Let's see what we can get. Hopefully we can make some of it back. But I mean, I think we had a lot of new people on this call today, which obviously not a good look, just a tougher day. But for those of you that have been trading with us last week, I mean, you know how the strategy works. It's usually fairly consistent. Usually I'm actually sitting here pissed off because I closed out too early and the trade's running 200 pips into profit and we closed out at 30, 40 pips. So it's all just a numbers game, and some days are going to be uglier than others. It's just about managing your risk and not turning those terrible losing days into horrible days. But just so those new people that are on here, we passed a prop firm, and I know some of you are probably thinking, how did you just pass one? But it's a live account right here. Unfortunately we're down $7,000 right now, which is only 3.7%. But live account right here, you can see. So we're trading on the live. I'm just copy trading to it because with with the funded trader, they don't allow EAs. So you have to make this Nash Markets one is the funded trader. I'm making this like my main account, and then I'm just copy trading out to all the other ones. Yeah, always risking 1% with challenge accounts. I only take 4 trades a day, so if worst case scenario, we hit stop loss in all 4 directions, we're down 4%. Now I did take an extra trade right here on NASDAQ, which honestly I think this was just BS. I think we should have fell more, but especially looking how US 30 completely broke through this. And I think there was that orange folder news that came out. It was the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Let me see what exactly it is, but I was reading a comment on there, and it said it's never been negative since the beginning of the pandemic, and it was really far negative today. So I'm not sure if that made a big difference in something, but I mean, that being said, we should be bearish, which obviously is why US 30 is tanking right now. So either this was just, a big liquidity grab and they're trying to grab stops, or we should continue to keep pushing down, in my personal opinion, but market can do whatever it wants. It says it's a leading indicator of economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions and changes in their sentiment. Can be an early signal of future economic activity such as spending, hiring, and investment. So it says above 0.0 indicates improving conditions. They were forecasting it to be 25, and it ended up being negative point 0.7. So it kind of missed the forecast like substantially. And when trading indices, I think it's super important to um, look at the news. But let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can get some buys here, hopefully. Actually, unfortunately, just because we're down like we are, I'm gonna do not the full position, just because it's gonna be cutting it too close otherwise. Yeah, it's better. Alright, where's this one? So just kind of talking some things out in my head. With Nasdaq, we took sells like right here from the start. Went a little bit into profit, came back, hit stop loss. Actually, I think we took sells here, and like just came up, hit stop loss, and then went down into profit. Um, like looking back on it now, instead of retaking those entries like down here, what I always mention is I like to see it like come way up, which it did right here. And now if it drops again, that's where I would take the re-entry. But obviously, since I took it early, we already risked what we risked. I'm not gonna retake it now, but I'm actually very curious to see if it comes back into this area. Will it go to our 2-to-1 risk reward, which would be down here? That's what I'm targeting. Did stop loss hit on sells? Yeah, so stop loss hit on sells on Nasdaq and US 30. Unfortunately, This is where we got the sells on this black line on US 30. Came up, hit our tight stop loss, literally just consolidated the whole way, and then literally just tanked. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We come back tomorrow stronger. Hopefully, this is curious. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, where comes up like this, and then we get momentum and we start pushing down. I want to see over time when I've back tested this. This is the only time it will work is when we come down into this area again like this. So let's see what happens when we put a 25 pips would be like the top of this candle here. Alright, so yeah, I think either way, if we even took the re-entries here, we would hit stop loss again. So some days are just like that, though. I wish it would have been a better day for, I feel like we have a lot of newer people on today. So unfortunate that hasn't been turning out as expected so far, but let's see what happens. I'm going to stay on for a little bit because I think we have a chance of pushing up here. And I'd like to see if NASDAQ can go for buys. Because NASDAQ is respecting this area right now. We have 5 more minutes till this 1 hour candle closes. And if this closes, somewhat with like a wick here, and then we start getting a bullish momentum up, we might get a decent push up into this zone, which would be, somewhat nice if we can get 1.5% back. Because I think currently right now we're down close to 4%, I think like 3.7. So, let's see if we can get some back. And then come back tomorrow better. This is why, for those of you that were on last week, the reason I was getting so aggravated, we're still making really good money, but I was leaving like 2% on the table on multiple trades. And you can't do that because, on days like today, like taking a 3% hit isn't bad. When I was doing the numbers last week, from what I called out, we should have made 12%. I only made 5.5. So like that's bad in my personal opinion. That's terrible. And it's solely just because I didn't like hold the trade. Like if I would have just sat on my hands, I would have been fine. So like right now we're down 3.7%, but we should have been up big from last week. And trading a 400K challenge, it's a little more trickier because this seems like a ton of money, but it's really 3.5%. If you want to compare this to a 100K account, we're down $3,000, so it's not that much. But a little aggravated too. First day on the live account, with my Forex funds, and we're down 3% as well, or 3.5. So hopefully we can turn it around the rest of this week here, and it's a shorter week, which sucks. Best prop firm. There's different things that I like about each one. I like the Funded Trader a lot for their automation and their support. Honestly, the Funded Trader is one of the best ones in my personal opinion, and top tier. That one's pretty good. And then I like my Forex funds as well, but completely honest, their support is so bad. Like I like just with like each step, it takes so long for them to get everything ready compared to other firms. And then when I got the live account, I got their credentials and I tried to take a trade and it said trading disabled. So we had to send them an email. It took them like another day just to like open the trading so I could start trading on a live account. So it's just like, I mean, they're good and they're reputable and they're gonna pay you out, but their support's not that good at all. So that would be like the only thing I wish they'd fix. And I mean, they make so much money they could easily get a good support staff. I don't know if the owner's just being cheap or what, but yeah, they could easily redo that, and then they'd be right up there with all the other guys. But I really like the Funded Trader, top tier. Their like automation is very good. Um, Obviously FTMO has been around forever, but in my personal opinion, they're too expensive, and I hate that they don't allow you to trade during news. I think that's like a stupid rule that they have just so they can try to maybe cancel your account or um, say, hey, sorry you're up this much, but you were trading during news, so that doesn't count. Like I think that's stupid. Like especially some trader strategies like mine are kind of based off of red folder news events, so. That's like the reason why I don't trade them. I think the prop trading is good. Besides, they have a lot size cap on the live account, um, which I think is pointless. Um, they have a drawdown rules for a reason, so having a lot cap is kind of dumb. Did FTMO change? I did not know that. That must have been very, very new change because I checked their website like a couple weeks ago and it still said something about news. Are you talking about for a standard like evaluation challenge, or are you talking about like some like swing trading account? 'Cause, I mean, I'll go check them out. The only thing regular account says decent. I mean, I like their profit split is 90%. Um, they're just a little bit more on the pricier end, where it's like I can go past these other ones first. My goal is obviously trade with every prop firm eventually, um, but like I want to pass these cheaper ones first, get my money back, um, and then move my way up. And then once I'm starting to make money on all these funded accounts, I'll probably switch over and just do FTMO. Yeah, I don't know why FTMO hasn't lowered their prices. They could be a lot more competitive with everyone else. Um, and I also just think this isn't like a huge factor, but just the way they market it and everything, I'm not a really huge fan of it. I don't think they do a great job at marketing. I think they just kind of ride off of their name. They're like the grandfather in the industry, so just people know of them. It's like word of mouth, but I think they should get way more active and like try to build like a cool community. And like I like the Funded Trader. They have like different challenges and groups to like win free accounts. They're always giving discounts out, like things like that, doing promotions. Price of the prop firm I'm using now, the Funded Trader is, let me triple check. I don't know their actual prices. I ended up paying like I believe 1,800 for this challenge. Yeah, the 400K is 1898. The 200K is 950, which isn't bad. I do have a coupon code as well if you guys want it. I think it's like 10 to 15% off. Um, I know the owners pretty well, so he hooked it up. They are 80-10, but they have a scaling plan to 90-10, which is decent. Um, message me private for the coupon code just because I mean, he told me I could give it to people, but I don't want to just like completely blast it out there. But yeah, 100%. I know the owner personally, so like I know they're paying out people. They've paid out like actually. I think they just made an update. They've paid out over $1 million already to funded traders, so um, they're very well capitalized. They're actually honestly I would say they're the top three. I think it goes FTMO, my forex funds, and then the funded trader, um, in terms of like actual rankings of prop firms right now. So they're kind of taking over the industry. I think they'll actually take over my forex funds very soon, just because they're actually like personable and they market it extremely well. I think my forex funds was just like FTMO, where they grew with their news of just, hey, this is our brand name, blah blah blah. They've been around for a while. They've had payouts. Um, I'm actually using both. I'm using my forex funds and the funded trader. The one that you're looking at right now currently is the funded trader. That's TFT. And then I got a couple my forex funds that I'm doing. I have a challenge right now that is a 200K, and then I also have a live account that's a 200K. And then I just mentioned too, I inherited like 600K live accounts as well, but they're in drawdown right now. So my buddy's trying to have me bring them back, and then if I bring them back, I'm gonna get a profit split on those too. So got a lot right on the table here. Not a great way to start out the week either. And that US 31's pissing me off though, because we're like, geez, it dropped like 250 pips from where we entered. I know I mentioned earlier in the call, I was like, we got room to the downside here. I thought we were gonna come to this area. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Yeah, like ideally, if I were gonna swing this down, and we had like decent entries from here, and we didn't hit stop loss, I would have probably tried to swing down to. Actually, no, I would have taken like 100 pips off right here. But the only thing that I like this is sometimes with my strategy, the way it should work is like, for those of you that were on the calls last week, we'll usually just run right into profit. Like we'll be hovering around the entry, we'll get super close, and then we'll just slam through it like this, and then we'll just go into profit real quick, and it's like a very quick strategy. Um, that's why sometimes when it consolidates like this, I don't like it, and I'll end up getting out early. Um, I know last week I cut my risk down a little bit, and I ended up um, having a higher stop loss, and it actually helped out. I would have hit like I think 80 to 100 pips on that trade, um, which I might have to go back to doing just because the market's been so volatile lately that 25 pips isn't really cutting it, unfortunately. Um, so it's kind of like always, you gotta always adjust to the current market conditions. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it looks like Nasdaq's rejecting this area pretty strongly. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, so the 1 hour ended with a wick. We ended above these two wicks here, or candles. Now we're just pushing up. So I'd like to see if we can just engulf this candle here and keep pushing. Um, the 4 hour looks like it's kind of making a morning star. I'm risking a little bit less than 1% on this trade, just because of where we're currently at. I don't want to obviously blow the challenges. Um, but we are that extra entry that I took obviously didn't help, but I'm not mad about it just because, over time when I've back tested, usually that will hit. The only thing that I'm pissed about is we kind of glitched out there. All of you saw it that we're on live. I didn't know what to do, so I just put my stop loss up higher and ended up way up here getting stopped out, which sucks. Um, so we ended up losing that trade, unfortunately, with bigger risk than we normally do. Wait, did we just get entered here? Yeah, I think we did. It sucks if we just get entered on this spread right here. I hate this because I'm looking at TradingView right now, and we literally didn't even hit where I wanted to enter at. I've been trying to. There's a price difference between TradingView and obviously this MT4, so trying to accommodate for it sometimes gets tricky. But it's literally 6 pips away from entering. So if someone didn't enter yet, wherever I just entered from, unfortunately it's 6 pips higher. That'll happen sometimes. I've usually been fairly good about it. Last week I didn't mess up at all. We technically should have entered up there. But hopefully this just gives us a better entry here. 8 pips. But I'm just marking this up so I know if we took the entry from the exact area that I usually take it at. Where was this at? 10. So this should be at 16. That was close enough, 15.8. Yeah, it's good, Scott. Move stop loss to break even. I feel like it always gets so close like this, and then just fucking the liquidity just stops. It's like, what the hell? Like, it makes me just want to close out when it happens, but I'm just trying to be patient here. Well, they got so close. I'm gonna follow suit with you on this one. Damn, that is tough. So I got stopped out at break even. Let's see what it ends up doing. I had my stop loss here, I think. Stop loss a little bit higher, it's like here. Looks like it's coming up here. It's targeting like right around this area, I think. Yeah. So let's see if it would have hit TP. It's tough. It's all a learning process. If I wasn't down the way I was, I probably would have just kept stop loss right here. But it's like you don't want to risk it and be down like damn near 5% for the day. But that was tough. We were legitimately, let's see, about 5 pips away from TP before it reversed all the way back and came back to break even. I'm starting to reject that area, which sucks. I mean, maybe I just had my TP just a little too high. I should have went for 1-to-1 today on that, but yeah, let's get better tomorrow. Today was a rough day. I think we'll still end the week in profit for sure, though. I'm just going to sit on here and I'm going to wait to see if we end up hitting this area. Let me see something here. So I'm down 15,393. Debating if I'm gonna. I don't know if US30 will even come up to this area, but if it does, like what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna half my risk a little bit. I'm gonna go 1.3. That way I can still risk 25 pips. Let me see something. Buy stuff. I don't think US30 is going to make it up there just because it looks extremely bearish today. Jeez, come on. Alright, fuck it. We're keeping it there. And then going for 100 pips up. So this is my last position that I'm managing for the day. And we will see what happens with it. So basically same exact entry that I called out from earlier, but I just lowered my lot size, so I'm not risking a full 1%. I'm risking more like 0.75% on that. And I think we're gonna call it a day at that. We'll come back stronger tomorrow. For those of you that were on like last week, you know how the strategy works. It's extremely consistent. So today was just one of those bad losing days, and it might have been because lower liquidity from yesterday, and now we've been kind of chopping up and down today. I mean, if you look at it on a higher time frame, there's no really clear direction whatsoever with this. So, hopefully we will get some better setups tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But I'm gonna wrap this up, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll post a Zoom link when I start seeing volatility in the entries that I'll be taking.